Well, so anyhow, it looks like I'm in red here, but oh well. You'll eventually support me, right? I'm just talking about YouTube here and their streaming quality. They like to do that, put me in red, and then as the show goes on, goes over to green, then goes orange. Back to green, back to orange. Yep. But anyhow, I wanted to show up here live a little bit today. Talk a little bit about last night's conversation with Steve. We talked on the phone prior to doing the recording, and I'm going to stand by Steve. So, but it is funny. What Steve and I talked about last night is so true. And you heard it in the recording. If you go up on Steve's channel, you'll see what we talked about. And then I got this clown that comes up under Steve's video doing the very thing that we talked about. Okay? What's even more funny about that is this clown didn't bother looking into a thing. He's going to tell me that how could I be so correct and so this because I've got the same channel I've always had and I'm supposedly speaking truth, but I've never lost a channel. And if people are telling truth, they're losing channels on YouTube, but I've never lost one. He's going to start spilling all this BS out his mouth. It's so funny. It's just hilarious when people do that. Okay, because it just shows this guy not only don't know me in real life, but this guy's so lazy that they couldn't even bother to look. All they had to do is punch in True Force Loneliness in a search, and they would have found my original name. And then all they had to do is compare it to the TFL at War channel and see, oh no, that was another YouTube channel. And then they would have seen, oh, I guess he has had more than one channel. Huh. But that's laziness for you. This is what people do. And then they type, I'm not arguing with you. I just made up a lie about you, and I'm not going to argue the truth with you because I'm standing by my lie. I'm standing by the poop I pulled up my anal. But this is the society we live in. Sick people. That person is sick. And as you notice, they're hiding behind an avatar. And they're not using their real name. Of course not. Because they're a coward. They're just what Steve and I talked about last night. That's really what they are. And that's probably why they left that comment, because they're offended by us telling the truth. The truth obviously hurt them. So Steve and I talked about some truth last night, but I do like it when Steve mentioned about, yep, forced MGTOW. Yes, that's right. Truly forced MGTOW. That's right. True forced MGTOW. Men forced to go their own way. Yep, I do like that. I thought that was pretty cool when Steve said that. It makes sense too, doesn't it? Because typically, if you got half a brain in your head, even half a brain, and you look at how women are treating men and all the double standards, which is corruption, and you look at the fact that men have no rights, especially when it comes if you get her pregnant. If you get her pregnant, you can't say, I don't want the kid and excuse yourself from it. But if the woman don't want the kid, she can excuse herself from it, not have the kid. That's right, she can get an abortion or she can wait, and she has up to a year to turn it over to the authorities and walk away from it, not have no responsibility, and they'll take the parental rights and they'll push it over onto the state, and she'll have no child support, no nothing. She can honestly walk away from that child. But can the man honestly walk away from the child? No. Nope, not at all. You don't have that option. Only the she's have that option. But they don't see that as corruption. The females think that that's perfectly humpty dory normal. Then, you know, and you look at how females are treating men in today's society and how they've married the court systems and the government, how corrupt they are, and then they have the audacity to complain, why would we be mad? Well, let's just flip the script. Let's just have Hollywood spend the next 15 years female bashing, female bashing, female bashing, female bashing. That's right. I think Hollywood should flip the script, and the commercials and sitcoms and movies should be shaming tactics and calling the women dumb and stupid, and should be everything they've done onto the men for the next 15 years. And I think everything needs to be turned around, double standards favoring the men, not the women. And the women should experience what they're dishing. I think once the women experience what they're dishing for a few years, and they're crying and whining and want it changed, and we just all tell them, oh, you're just a man hater, you're mad because you can't get laid, and we start pulling the same shit back on them, I think once they taste their own medicine long enough, they might just be a little bit angry too, don't you? Yeah, I think they might just be a little bit on the angry side themselves. It's insanity, okay? It really is. You know, I was watching a couple videos of Rotor, a mainstream media, talking about should there be a MRA, a men's right activist movement, okay? And I'm listening to this Nagina, this simp, well, he wishes he was a man. He actually wishes he was a man. He looks like a man, but he's probably a female. Deep inside, he's a female. He's weak. He's Nagina. And he was doing everything he can to justify all the double standards and justify the corruption. Also, that he could get a brownie point to put his you know what where. That's all that was about. So, you know, I see this stuff on a regular basis. But I was laughing at the guy that left the comment under Steve's video. Because he's exactly who we were talking about last night. Somebody that don't know you at all. But he even made himself worse because he couldn't take 2 minutes out of his own busy schedule to look and see anything. He just had to make the accusation that if I was a real truther and credible, I would have lost the channel. And since I've never lost a channel in my life on YouTube, obviously I can't be a trustable truther. And I'm like, wow, you're a real idiot, ain't you? You know, I've lost like 4 channels, and this guy's going to tell me I've never lost a channel. I got 2 channels I'm locked out of, but I've never lost a channel. I've lost thousands of videos when they took my channels down, but I've never lost a channel. Pretty funny, isn't it? That's what clowns do. You know? Okay, you thought about switching to vapor? Vapor cigarettes, you know, the e-cigarette? Okay, that would be to Jeff over there. Yeah, that's totally up to you. I'm not going to tell people what's healthy, what not to do, or anything like that. You know, this BS, I mean, we understand that the GMOs are no good for you. The processed foods are no good for you. We understand it's the stuff that we're eating and putting in our body that's causing scurvy. Oh, I mean cancer. Oh, yeah, but the real name of cancer is scurvy. Yeah. I mean, you know, anybody that's educated themselves understands that cancer is nothing but a money laundering racket and population reduction. It's a scam. It's a fraud. They've had the cure for cancer forever and ever and ever. They know what causes cancer. They can cure cancer just like that, but they're not about to because it lines their pockets with millions and millions and millions of dollars every year and profits them and gives them population reduction. Yep, so therefore, children and all, you can all die of cancer. We'll keep feeding you the poison. So when you go to the store, you have a choice of this poison, this other poison, that poison. And you walk outside and you breathe in barium and aluminum from the chemtrails. That's right. And this is where we're at. Oh, yeah, well, that's correct. Look at Jimmy Carter, cured. Well, of course he is. You know, if you're that person at the top with lots of money, no problem. You get cancer, we'll take it right on out. We have the cure. We've had the cure for years. We know exactly what causes cancer. We purposely break down your immune systems and you don't know you're sick when you are so that you'll get cancer. And then we sell you our fraudulent bullshit treatments at your medical industry, unless your name is Jimmy Carter, you know, Barack Obama. That's right. Maybe you're a Rothschild, maybe you're a Rockefeller. You know, maybe your name is Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton. You know, or your name could be Kissinger. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're one of these people and you get cancer, don't worry, you won't have cancer very long. Okay, you won't. You won't die from it neither. Only the useless eaters and feeders, us normal people, will be the ones that'll get cancer and kick the bucket. So, you know, that's one of the reasons they don't want people smoking marijuana. It's because the THC and the marijuana actually could help your system and prevent you from getting cancer. They don't want you knowing that because they don't want you to maybe not get cancer. If they can help it, they want you having cancer. Let's see. Well, that would be correct, Dave. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find that. No. It's so in people's faces. You know, I've been screaming this to people for years and I get frustrated and I get to the point where I almost just don't care anymore. I've had 4 people that I knew die of cancer. Out of them 4 people, it made me sick because I sent them the information. I literally sent them the information. 3 of them, only one I didn't get the information to because it was too late. But 3 out of the 4 I sent the information to. Told them to look into it long before they were dead, hoping maybe they'd look into it and try some of these other alternatives and maybe save themselves. You know what they did? They blew off what I sent them, ran straight to their doctor, and all 3 of them are dead now. And what they died from? Exactly that. Then I got another person who I told this stuff who got cancer. And what did he do? He went straight to the same place, but he didn't die from the cancer. But he would have died from the cancer. But instead, he got a blood infection that killed him. But still, he ran right to the same place. They're not looking into anything you tell them. And you cannot help the ignorant. You can lead the horse to water, but you cannot make the horse drink it. And if you're going to be ignorant and blow off the information when somebody sends it to you and not at least go look for yourself, then there's no helping these people. I'm sorry. So I do get frustrated over that, and I don't want to help these people anymore because as much as I love people and care about people and I try to help people, when you try to help people and they just completely blow you off and, you know, and run right to the very people that are going to kill them and follow the suit of the sheeple jumping over the cliff. You know, it's like a line of people standing there at the world's tallest cliff with no parachute jumping to their death. You tell them, do not get in that line. And what do? They climb that line and they fall to their death and they wonder why. Then the family members are, hoo, 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 and I'm not hoo, because I warned you. I don't feel sorry for dumbness. I'm sorry. I just can't. You know, and that's, you know, I'm sorry, but I get frustrated because I try to, it's so bad to help people. And so many times, you would rather attack me, call me names, mock me, or talk behind my back and run straight to the very people killing you, and then wonder, and then your family members will be crying over your loss when they didn't have to lose you to begin with, and you didn't have to be dead, but you were too ignorant to listen. Now, if you didn't care no more because you see how fucked up our world is, and you really don't care if you die, you really don't want to be here, then I'm not going to be angry with you because I can understand that. But when you're crying over him dying of cancer and somebody sends you this stuff long before it happens and you have a chance to maybe save yourself and you choose to blow off that person because your busy schedule of watching fluff and stuff on your brainwashing box is more important than doing a little bit of research, then I can't feel sorry for you. I really can't. And I'm not going to neither. Why should I? You know, and then I did this live stream, a little short live stream yesterday. What was it, 38 minutes, 40 minutes? I did this live stream yesterday, and I talked about, well, you know, power and greed that absolutely corrupts the human mind. And then I talked about people's ego. How ego is just like power and greed. If somebody's not constantly checking themselves when they're running on ego, they wind up becoming like the very people they're speaking out against. And most of the time, they don't even see themselves doing it. They slowly become corrupted, just like power and greed, by ego. And you know, I felt it was something I should talk about. That I don't see anybody else ever talking about it. No. I go all over the internet. You'll see people talking about that. So I did this live stream and I talked about that and I talked about some of the stuff I've seen. Like I could show you the OBS studio I'm using. I've got a whole link. I've got a link, and I mean, there's so much that they offer. So many different things you can use, you know. And so I gave the sample of people putting themselves in a TV set, okay? Because there's a whole page loaded with different studios and TV sets you can put yourself in, one after another after another. You know, and then I have this person come up here and tell me it sounded like I was talking about Jerry. I wasn't talking about nobody in general. I was talking about the issue I've seen in the years I've been doing this and this studio and all the different background drops they got with different TVs and stuff in it that I found. That's what I was talking about because, and yeah, I understand Jerry's over there putting himself in a TV set. That's Jerry's prerogative, man. Jerry has ego. I'm not going to tell him not to have ego. I'm not his boss. I like Jerry. I consider his friends. But we don't always agree upon things. But it doesn't mean that I should have to shut my mouth about this. Okay? It doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to talk about this because Jerry's doing it. No. That would be called taboo. That would be called censorship. That would be called corruption. If you don't like me talking about that topic, you know what? I really don't care. Because it's true. Okay? It is really true. If you pay attention to people with ego, if they don't check their own selves when they're running on ego, they wind up becoming corrupt like the powers to be, like the elite, like the shields that they complain about. and they wind up becoming just like them. So they have to really check themselves if they're running on Eagle. That's really all I'm saying. I wouldn't put myself in one of these, and I could come up here on OSB. I use it all the time to go live. I wouldn't be hard for me. You've seen some of the videos I've done where I put stuff around me or background in. But I'm just stubborn. I'm a stubborn sucker. I don't have Eagle, and I wouldn't run on Eagle. I don't want to be inside a television set. Because to me, that's pure ego driven, that you got to be in a TV set. Like you're actually really on TV when you know you're not. Okay? That's just me, okay? And that's my personal opinion. That's all that is. So that was not an attack on Jerry, but you know how you got people online that want to make statements for other people because they see Jerry doing this stuff. They think I'm talking about him when I'm not. You thought they think Jerry's the only one that would be doing this? There's an entire page full of them. And it's for this program, and you got how many thousands of people doing live streams? So what, do you suppose Jerry would be the only person? Hell no. Okay? So, don't be calling names. That's the reason I don't call names, because I've been doing this long enough and I've seen so much corruption, so much ego in my life that there's no way I'm going to start calling names. I'd be calling a whole shitload of names if I did that. But let's go back to cancer and the dating scene topics, okay? I'll jump off that now, but I had to bring that up one more time. I did this conversation with Steve last night. He did do a recording, okay? And I like talking with Steve. Steve called me on the phone, and we'll be talking on the phone. I like talking with Steve. And if we do a live stream together, that's great. Recently, he's been recording them and sticking them up afterwards. But, it's totally up to Steve what he does with his channel. It's not up to me. I'm not going to tell him. Okay, I'm not here to tell Steve Hoka what to do. Steve's honest, and that's why I give Steve total credit for that, because Steve is honest. And that is something I have trouble finding people that are. Now, I know Dave, who's in this live stream or listening to it, I know he's honest. And I know Jeff is honest. Actually, Jeff was on with me, and I can tell just by what Jeff was saying and Jeff's mentality. Jeff's honest. And I have respect for people that are honest, like myself. So, I have all thumbs up and all kudos go out to Jeff and Dave, because these are two people that are in this live stream listening right now that I know are honest. They really are. They're honest. They tell what they see. They tell how they feel. And that's what it should be in our society. And Dave's got a lot of research behind him, because I'm talking about cancer. I'm talking about our immune systems. The breakdown of our immune system is where scurvy comes from, which is cancer. And if you look into your stuff, Dave's bringing up raw garlic and onions can really help prevent cancer. I believe that. I really do. Getting the right minerals and vitamins into our systems that you're not going to get from the foods will strengthen your immune system. And I'm not talking about running to the damn pharmacy to pick up a bottle of vitamins, because you're going to get a bottle of nothing for money. If you want to give away your money for nothing, just hand it out to a homeless person on the street, will you? Because to run to Big Farm and pick up vitamins, you're not buying vitamins, you're buying fraud. Because they're not vitamins. They don't have the vitamins in it they're advertising to you. It's fraudulent advertising. There's no way Big Pharma is going to sell you what's going to strengthen your immune system. They have way too much money on the line to do that. They need you sick so they can create more drugs to create more profit. So you better understand that. Your medical industry and Big Pharma are not here for our health. They're here for their pocketbook. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, is not here for your health. The FDA, better off known as the Fraud and Death Administration, because that's what they are. At least they have the proper name, fraud and death. No, it's not food and drugs, it's fraud and death. You can ask the doctors that were curing cancer that they attacked, that the FDA attacked over and over and over again. See, the FDA has contracts with Big Pharma. The FDA helps Big Pharma make their profits. And their profits are depending on you being dumb. Why do you think I get frustrated at people when I tell them about cancer? I send them the information to get them started, and they don't even look at it. They blow you off. And then they're dead, and and then you wonder why, huh? And family members are blah, 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 blah. And then you get somebody that comes up after their loved one passed away and is wanting to do a donation to cancer research. You sent them the information. And here they are doing a donation thing for cancer research. That's because they didn't look. That's because I wasted my time. You cannot help the dumb. There is no helping the dumb. The dumb will just have to stay dumb until they pull their you know what out of their you know what. That's all you can do for people like that. And it's sad. I see so much corruption coming on all the time. Now why are you worried about Steve Hoka? Where is Steve Hoka? Why even worry about where Steve is? Steve's got a personal life. Well, you realize that Steve does have a personal life. He's not obligated to be online for anybody here, man. He comes up if he wants to come up. And if you stay obsessed with him and have to be there looking for him, you're your own worst enemy, man. Just be proud when he shows up and does a video. That's all I gotta say. I mean, just be proud when he does a video. And look forward to his videos when he does have time to do them. We said it in the live cast that I did with Steve last night, and the recording that was done last night with Steve. We said it straight out. He, like you, like everybody else, has bills to pay. And he can't pay his bills when he has nobody else in his life to help him pay his bills by sitting in front of his computer. And this people need to remember this. Okay, you need to remember that. Because it's no different than you or me. We all have bills to pay, man. You know you do. All of us do. And if we fail to pay our mortgage, our rent, our utilities, we're not going to have what we have, are we? No, when you're going to buy food, because you're going to have food to live, you're going to have water. You all know this stuff, so, it's just like these people that are hooked up on attacking Steve or Jeff. You know how retarded that is to be attacking people you don't even know? I don't know Jeff personally, but I'll tell you what, Jeff came on with me. Steve was on here with me. And from what time I had to talk to Jeff, I seen a very honest man. He earned my respect. And Dave, I haven't had on here yet, but I would like to get Dave into a live feed with me. Okay, I really would. Because Dave's already earned my respect. Just watching what Dave types when he comes in when I'm doing a live stream. Dave, I really appreciate Dave. The man has looked into his stuff. He knows what he's talking about, and he's being honest. And you can see it. The true honesty. And saying it as it is. I have respect for that. I really do. And that's what I like about Steve Hoka. He stays honest. He don't lie to you. He's a human being. He's made mistakes, but then so have I. So have all of us. And anybody that says they haven't made a mistake, the shit just, I mean, I'm sorry, is above your boots now. You're walking in it, you're covered in it, and we see it. Because the BS is just right there in everybody's face. Because we've all made mistakes, man. We all have. Well, I believe there's people jealous of Steve Hoka. You know, people get jealous of other people and they get corrupted. So that's why I talked about people's ego. You know, they run on their ego and their ego inflates. And once the ego inflates, if they don't check themselves, they'll start becoming corrupt themselves. Jealousy. When people get jealous of other people, they become corrupt. And they say things and do things they wouldn't normally do to somebody all out of jealousy. Why do you got to be jealous of somebody you don't even know? Because for the people who are jealous of Steve Hoka or jealous of me, honestly, what are you jealous about? Seriously. Have you ever met Steve Hoka in real life? Do you even know where he lives? Have you ever talked to him in person? How much do you really know about Steve Hoka outside of what you've seen on the internet? See, your answer is going to be almost next to nothing because that's exactly what you know about him. Well, it's not about fame. It's about helping other people. You know, I had that said to me years ago by a couple of girls, Sarah and Karina. That were their names. Can't remember the name of the account they had on YouTube. But they followed us over, and it was me and Dwayne Holloway. We went over to this place, and it had marked by webcams and chat. And we did this live thing, and Dwayne and I were in there. And these other people showed up, and Sarah and Karina showed up. And the first thing that I forget, I think it was Sarah said it to me. She said, Bill, and I said, what? She says, how does it feel to be famous? And I'm like, famous? And she's, yeah, you're famous. You're all over the internet. Well, you know, that was the first year or so of TFL. Well, you know, in the first year, 2 years of TFL, Google did not own YouTube. And TFL did go viral. It went all over the world. And I didn't know it was going to do that. It was never about fame. Okay? But see, people's perception, because we was literally all over the internet, how does it feel to be famous? And I'm like, I don't know, because I was not after fame. So, you know, and Steve Hulk is just like me. You got to remember, when I came up and did the TFL thing, I had give the name to TFL, brought up the True Force Loneliness videos. Nobody knew who Dwayne Holloway was because he stayed hidden in the background. I didn't know Steve Hulka yet. I was 3 or 4 months into doing it when Steve Hulka made a reply at one of my videos. I made a reply back, and it led to me and Steve meeting one another on the phone. We wound up giving each other's phone number, and we started talking. And Steve Hoka started doing TFL videos, and he has been here ever since. So Steve Hoka comes at the beginning of TFL. It was only 3 or 4 months into me starting it when Steve came into the picture. So Steve and I go back a lot of years. We had our conflicts. I'm not lying to anybody. Back in them days, Steve had a hot temper. I had a hot temper. We clashed a couple of times. We got into an argument with each other, and that's what happened, okay? And since that time, my temper's calmed out, and I've gone a lot of bit more living wits about me. So is Steve, by the way. So is Steve. And Steve and I have made amends, and it's for life. Just so you all know that. There ain't nobody up here on the internet that's going to destroy that. It's for life. Steve and I have made amends, and I'm not going to ever attack Steve again. And Steve, I don't think will ever attack me again. If anything, you're going to see Steve and I become even better friends than ever. I have a lot of respect for Steve. All these years, and Steve still talks about TFL, doesn't he? That's right. You know, and just like I had a lot of people who follow me, Steve's got a lot of people who follow him. But they have to try to back up enough to remember that Steve does have a personal life. He has a very respectable career. He really does. Steve has a good career behind him and he has a personal life, and people need to respect that, okay? They really do. And as far as these people that are denying TFL, that are living TFL, which unfortunately is the majority of MGTOW. Of course, I'm not going to say it's every single person in MGTOW, but it is the majority. Because a lot of TFLers in denial don't like the name because they're embarrassed by it. They're afraid they'll be ostracized by their female gender if they speak up about it. I know why they won't own up to what they are, is because they're so afraid of being ostracized by the female gender. But you know what's funny about it? They're going through all the same problems that all of us are, and they still ain't no better, and ain't got no better for them, and it ain't gonna get any better for them, and then they're still denying it. You know, you cannot honestly be a man going your own way if you're still complaining about females. You know, so if you're making videos complaining about females, you obviously haven't went your own way at all. Now, Steve, it would be really a MGTOW man going his own way. I like the forced part that Steve brought up last night. That was just outstanding. When Steve said, yeah, forced MGTOW. Yeah, true forced men going their own way. I love that part. I really did. That was just outstanding on Steve's part. I really give him total kudos for that. That was outstanding. Okay? Because really that's what it is. Think about all your TFLers in denial. They're covering themselves up with the MGTOW label. Okay? Yep, so you were forced to become a man going your own way. Well, reality you was, wasn't you? Woman wouldn't give you the time of day, so you went your own way, didn't you? Uh, so yeah, I went Steve all the way on that one. You know, not that there isn't real MGTOWers out there, because there is, and not that MGTOW wasn't a great idea. You know, Barbarossa brought MGTOW online. He's the one. He was an MRA. Barbarossa was part of the men's right activist group. When our plant, Paul Elam, yeah, he's a plant, by the way, and anybody that can't see that this guy is a plant, a shield, has clearly out of their mind, because Paul Elam is definitely a plant. That not that he hasn't done good work, but when's the last time Paul Elam talked about the root cause? Oh, that's right, he never has in all the years he's been doing it. With the intelligence and the skill level and the education level of Paul Elam, for him to not talk about the root cause sends up big red flags. Okay, that's what that does. It sends up big red flags. Yes, that's correct. Steve is real. And he is honest. I have respect for Steve for that. Like I do Dave, like I do Jeff. Okay? And Dave knows how I feel about him. He's earned it. Jeff earned it. Jeff was on this live stream and I got to talk to him a little bit. And just what Jeff tells you, he was being honest. He wasn't bullshitting anybody. I respect people like that. I really do. One day I want to have Dave on here. If he ever gets time, we can ever get together. You know? And if Dave's still in here, I'm going to do this. Oh, and then you're going to tell me it didn't go? You let me do all that typing and put it in there. We'll try this again. This is for Dave. I want him to copy and paste that. As soon as you got that copy and saved, let me know, Dave. Okay, that's who that's for. That email address is for Dave mainly. I want him to have that email because I would like to bring Dave onto this and do a live stream with him. I really would. I would like to do a live stream with Dave, so I put my email in there for Dave. Okay, you got that copy and pasted to something and saved? As long as you got that saved, Dave, that's what I was after. There you go. Now I removed it because that's who that was for. That was for Dave. Okay, you send me an email to that email. I'll get your email or I'll reply back. Maybe we can set up a time that you'll be home and you'll be off and we can do a live stream to where you can be on with me. I definitely like that, Dave. So that's the reason I put that in there. That's who that's for. So that's what I want to do there because I am going to bring people on here to do a live stream with me. You know, and maybe one day Steve will be over here again, or I'll be over there with Steve, and maybe Dave could be over there with Steve. Because Steve is a good man, Dave's a good man. And, you know, and Dave, I can tell Dave is very awake, like myself, to a lot of things in society that's going on. And I have so much respect for that, to be honest, and to be awake to both sides of the issue. Because the truth of the community is so fraudulent. So many people aren't awake to both sides. And for people who are awake to both sides, so many of them don't want to speak out about the men's thing because if you're speaking out on the manosphere, they're so afraid that they're not going to get a woman or they're going to be ostracized. They're so scared of the consequences of talking about a woman. It's just pathetic how bad they've got people's minds to where people are so scared to talk about the truth. And they'll say, well, but that's taboo, or but that's this, or that woman might get mad at me, or I might scare all the women off. You mean I might scare all the corruption away from me? Awesome. That's what I say when I'm told I'll scare all the women off. I mean, okay, I'm because the only women I'm going to scare off are the ones that are dishonest, manipulators, troublemakers, drama queens, gold diggers. You know, all the women you wouldn't want anything to do with anyhow. That's the women I would be scaring off by talking about it. And that's not a loss. How would you consider that a loss? That's not a loss. So for you fraudulent MGTOWers that are TFLers in denial, what are you losing, really? You know, if you can meet a woman when you're being honest, you're going to probably meet your companion. You're probably going to meet the woman that'll be with you for the rest of your life. And you won't have all that drama and stuff. But if you're going to just, I'm so scared that the woman may, and I'm so scared, I don't want to be ostracized, and I don't want to blah, 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 and it goes on and on with you. You're scared of the female gender finding your videos, or you might say something, just like when Steve talks about where's the MGTOW bumper sticker, or where's the MGTOW hat. Come on, where is it? Or where's the MGTOW shirt? Like Steve says, you can find them online, but you see nobody wearing them. Oh, I can do that. Yes, I can, Dave. There you are, Dave. Let me know when you got that all the way copied down. Well, the people that are going to make TFL go out there are the people that are willing to speak up about it. You cannot stay anonymous and not ever keep speaking up about it. You know how you change things in society? By growing tough skin and be willing to talk about it. The more men that come up here and willing to speak out about TFL, that are willing to go live with Steve Hoka, do interviews with Steve, or come live with me, or come live with me and Steve, the more of us that can get together, the more people we have in a live stream, the more people that are going to listen, the more courage you're going to give other men. And the more courage you give other men through us working together, the more people we will reach. Don't you understand that? That's how that works. But if you're afraid to come on a live stream, if you're afraid to speak about the topic and you're living it, you're never going to help it go away. You're never going to help find a cure. You're never going to have a group. Because I've told you before, I would like to see every community have somewhere men can go that are living this, okay, to where they can meet like minded men just to hang out with, to go shoot pool, to go shoot video games, to watch a movie. Just somebody that you could talk to that's not going to put you down and use shaming tactics from social engineering. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I feel that's really needed for the manosphere. And, you know, PUA failed because PUA is problem, reaction, solution. You need to understand social engineering. The men's issues for not getting a woman in their life was deliberately created by NWO. You can say that's a conspiracy theory, but it's fact. It was created and engineered by the powers to be deliberately. Divide and conquer, breakup of the family unit to division of the genders. That's what it was all about. And of course, they knew that there was going to be an epidemic of men that wouldn't be able to get a woman. So, problem, reaction, solution. I gave you PUA, the pickup artist industry. Do you think it's an accident that you got PUA, CIA, MRA? Pay attention now. PUA, CIA, MRA. That's right. NSA. Well, do you think that's all a coincidence? Communism, socialism, fascism. No, them ain't accidents. It's so in your face. People really need to pick up on that and get that because that's what it is, okay? Now, I put my email out there for Dave, and I'm sure there's probably some other clowns that took my email already and ran with it, okay? And I'm not going to worry too hard about it. If you ran with my email, and I don't know you, you come on trolling my email, I'm just going to block you from my email. So you really have your choice. Now, come on, remove it. Okay, maybe it did. Who knows? But Steve does mean well, and Steve hasn't run off in all these years, so I don't see Steve running off anytime soon. But it's just Steve and I talked about last night. You have to start dropping back a little bit and giving him some respect. You know, that's really where it comes from. And people that are obsessed with Steve, you need to get over yourselves. I mean, you know what you do to yourselves being obsessed with somebody you don't even really know? And if you'd like to see TFL get a little bit, I'd like to see men stop fighting one another. I'd like to see MRA and, MRA guys and men going their own way guys and TFLers and incel guys all be able to get together and stop fighting one another. And all be able to work together, fighting the same cause. And the best way to fight that cause is to keep speaking out. And if we can do live streams and we can get other people that are willing to put their voices out there and their names out there and join in on this and stop being scared of what a woman thinks of you. The only women you're going to run off are corrupt women to begin with. And so why should you worry about running off the woman you'd never want to be with to begin with? And that's why I said what I said when it comes to that. You shouldn't worry about angering a woman or running women off because you're speaking the truth. And if this woman's got half a brain in her head and actually really cares about life, she's already knows what you're saying and she sees it. How could she not see it? Let's look at the male bashing that's going on in society. Come on. How could she not see it? You know damn well the majority of these women see this and know this. And that's really where that comes from. So, how could she not see it? It's because she does see it. That's what people need to understand is she actually sees it. Yes, there's a few women out here that don't see it, but the majority, if they're really paying attention, they see it. They know it. Well, I can't do interviews with anybody unless they come at me and ask me. I can give out my email for these people, and Turd Flinging Monkey brought up some great points. I know what you're talking about, okay? And I would do, and I would bring any of these guys on and do a live stream with them if they're willing to do it. The more people we can get together and the more people that'll do live streams and keep speaking out, the more people we're going to reach. Don't you realize that a lot of people out here listening, they're going to love it if they come up and there's a live stream and there's 6 of us or 8 of us in a live stream and we're all here for the same thing, talking about the same topics when it comes to men's rights issues. You're going to draw a big audience. And when you draw that big audience by numbers of people talking with each other, you're going to reach more people. And if you keep talking and keep reaching more people, the only way anything ever changes in life is when you don't give up. When you don't give up and you continuously keep calling it out, and the numbers of people calling it out grows, this is when you can effectively make a change. And as much as I would like to see the change, men have to be willing to jump on board and they have to be willing to do this. It doesn't matter how personal it is. That has nothing to do with it. If you're ever going to effectively make a change, we all have to start working together. We can't afford to have men's right activists and incel and TFLers all fighting one another. Don't you understand that? If we're ever going to get anywhere, we got to stop fighting one another. So for men's right activists and MGTOW and incels, for men's rights issues, we all need to be working together. We really do. And we got to stop slamming each other. You got to stop playing the victim card. You're falling into the social engineering that has destroyed us to begin with. That what has divided us. And if you keep playing the victim card, you're never going to get anywhere. You're going to stay stuck in that paradigm for the rest of your life. You're not going to advance anywhere because you're stuck in the matrix of the social engineering that has destroyed us. To get out of that, we have to leave the programming behind. You understand what's going on. The majority of men are in here because they know. They've lived it. And for men that's been in relationships with women like myself, you know how it is. You know the double standards and the one-sidedness. You know how the drama is created over something as simple as a crumb on the floor or the toilet paper being on the dispenser the wrong direction. Yeah, you're the clown. Yep, that's right, that didn't look into a damn thing, who tried to say that I only had one channel and that I've never lost a channel in my life. Yes, you're the clown. See, this is the dum-dum that I've talked about at the beginning of the show that Steve and I talked about last night. He showed up last night. I mean, we done this video last night, Steve and I did. The topic we talked about, this guy fits right into it. Now here he is in my chat. I'm the guy you talked about last night. I'm the guy in the comment, okay, who says that I've had a channel for over 10 years and never lost a channel. You don't even know what you're talking about. You haven't the first clue. Why don't you punch in True Force Loneliness in a search? Why don't you punch in Bill 122460? Why don't you punch in Bill 1224601? Why don't you accidentally find the truth before you shoot off your mouth? Okay, now I'm done talking to him because he's a clown. If you want undone and back in this live feed, then you go educate yourself before you shoot your mouth. There he is. He's gone. I removed him. That's what I do with people like that. There's another guy that was in there that was moaning about that too. That I blocked him. I don't put up with people's shit. I'm sorry. This guy didn't come in this live stream because of anything but to make up lies and start drama. So I introduced who he was and I removed him from the show. That's as simple as that. He's going to make up lies to start drama. This clown literally said that I've never lost a channel and that I've been doing this for 10 years. I've never lost a channel. And anybody that knows TFL, that knows who I am, knows that I have lost 4 channels and locked out of 2 channels. They already know this. They've been following me. They've been here. They know this, that I've literally lost thousands of videos. My last channel I lost from talking about Vegas. From the fraudulent shooting in Vegas. Yeah, that's the real reason they took their channel down. So it's been the political one that they removed my videos for. And this clown here is going to come in here and do that shit. No. This clown's gone. See, he's going to, well, it ain't fair. Well, yeah, it is fair. It took him 2 minutes of his time to punch in True Force Loneliness. He would have seen I had more than one channel. And then he would have realized, oh, he has lost channels. No, he don't want to do that. He just wants to come in here and make up lies. And then he wants you people that are in this chat to fall for them lies. So that he can stir up drama and division in this chat. He might be a plan. He might be an agent. He might be a disinfo agent making money off doing what he's doing. Or he could just be a complete dumbass. He's one or the other, but it doesn't matter which one he is, he's gone. So I told you I'm not going to put up with people's shit. You either come in here and be honest, or you just get the hell on out of here. That's the way I feel about you, okay? If you're going to be honest, and you're going to be a good person, and you're here for the right reason, then I want you here. I really do. I'll have respect for you. I really will, and you'll always be here. I don't just block people because I want to block people. I just don't put up with bullshit, is all. And they get mad at me because I don't put up with their bullshit. Well, they're here for games. They're here for lies and deception. They're part of the problem in our society. The social engineering machine has them bent over. And they're not smart enough to figure out they're bent over. But just the same, that's what I want to see for TFLers. And MGTOW. And Incel. I want to see us guys stop fighting each other. How about making 2019 a better year for the manosphere? How about us men stop playing victim role? How about us just being honest and getting together? You know, that's where I come from. How about us just doing that? You know what kind of year we could end up in 2019 if we would do that? And if you want to make TFL go viral again, you can do that. We can make this grow again. All the TFLers that are out here, we can make this grow again. You just got to be willing to speak up. You got to be willing to come into my email or Steve's email, and you got to be willing to put your voice out there again. You can't be worried about offending some woman, okay? Because the problem ain't going to go away until we continue to speak about it. Well, this would be Warren. Okay, Warren, I'm in a live stream again. I won't be long, okay? But I'll tell you then, okay? There you go. If that would have been Warren again, yeah, one day I'll get him here in a live stream too, won't I? I've already had Warren in a few live streams. Warren was on my radio show quite often, so most of you people should know who Warren is. You really should. You should know who Warren is. Because Warren has been in my live streams. Warren has been on my radio show when I did the TFL radio show. And so y'all should know who he is. But my goal would be if we could do 2019, if we could put the incels, men's right activists, and men going their own way, even the fraudulent ones that are TFL, come out of the closet, okay? Stop playing the victim role. Stop attacking one another. Start talking about the same issues together. That's right. Start working together. And the more of you that will show up for a live stream with Steve or me, then the more heads we have in that live stream, the more of an audience we're going to grab. The more of an audience we grab, the more the word's going to be spread. That's right. And the stronger we are. You can never shut up because when you shut up is when the people who have done this to us win. You need to understand that. So therefore, you can never shut up. You got to keep speaking out, speaking out, speaking out. And we got to come up with ideas, and we've got to come up with something we can put in every community to where people who are like-minded men can go to meet other like-minded guys that are living the same issues. If you want to go your own way, you go your own way, but meet like-minded guys that you could go bowling with, that you could go shoot a game of darts, or you could go shoot some pool, or you could just hang out at home, whatever. You know, somebody you can talk to, you can vent to. We all need that. That'll help you. See, it's not about helping me. This is about helping all of us. This has never been about just me, ever, ever. It's always been about all of us. Okay? And we can't change that unless we're willing to work together. We don't need all this drama. We don't need this damn victim card blaming for victim status. That's insanity. It really is. Just so what? You can have a B10 thrill? A B10 feeling of power inside? Fraudulent power? You're not better than somebody else. That goes right back to ego again. None of us are better or above either one of us. I mean, what are we doing pretending we're better than somebody else? We're smarter than somebody else. I mean, you know, that's psychopathic. It really is. We need to stop this crap. Stop playing games. Lots of lives are being destroyed by this behavior. And you all know you don't want to be one of them that gets destroyed. You want the stress off your shoulders just as bad as everybody else. So, the old saying about manning up. Well, men, I guess it's time to man up, right? Because manning up isn't going with society's quos. Manning up is telling the truth. Coming up here and being honest and telling the truth. And stop being a coward. Go over and talk to Steve. Send him an email. Be willing to do an interview with him. Come over here on this live stream. Join us in a conversation. And we could do a regular live stream. If TFLers and men going their own way and so on would come over here and join that live stream, and we would talk about the issues and continuously push them and push them and push them, we could actually get somewhere. I mean, this is it. We're not going to go anywhere. One time the TFL radio show had a lot of people coming into it, a lot of listeners, a lot of callers. That's what we need to have happen again. But it don't have to be TFL. It can be right on a live stream. And you can't just always come in the chat and be typing in chat. Some of you guys got to really get up there and be willing to put your voice out there. You don't got to give where you live. Just give a first name. Give a first name, You can say a first name, say from the United States, if you're in the United States. See what I mean? It's a big country. If you're worried about your own security, that's all you got to do. And speak of the topic. You don't got to come on cam. I'm on cam, but see, I've been here for years. You already know who I am. You know my first name, you know my last name, you know exactly what I look like. And then you're all worried about something might happen to you in public, huh? Well, how is that going to happen to you in public? Come on. I've been speaking out for years. Everybody knows what I look like. They know my name. I have TFL hat and TFL shirt, and I wear them down the street. I wear them where I go when I put them on. I'm not ashamed to put them on. Do you follow what I'm saying? In all these years I've been doing this, only one time that I have somebody follow me, and that was in Sam's Club. I was in a Sam's Club up in Florida, and I had a guy following me from aisle to aisle to aisle. And I noticed every aisle I was in, this guy was in, and he was looking at me. And so I'd purposely move over 2 aisles, and there he was, and he was looking at me again. Now I'd move over to the other side of the store, and there he was, and he was looking at me again. He followed me all over the store. Then pretty soon he got the guts, and he came up to me. And I seen him approaching. And I stood my ground, he walked up to me, and then he was polite as all hell. He really was. He couldn't believe he was seeing me, because he'd been watching me on video for so long. That's all it was. Okay, so come on. What are you scared about? I understand somebody may hate you, and they'll see you, blah, blah, but you can't go through life paranoid. What is that going to get you? Nothing. I've been doing this for years. That's the only time, and I was out in public all the time. I'm telling you, I've been all this country out in public all the time, wear my hat, wear my shirt, everywhere I'd go. See? And I already know Steve will. I ain't got a doubt in my mind about that. Steve Holko will put on that TFL hat and that TFL shirt, and he will wear them because it's the truth. So when he said, "Where's the MGTOW bumper sticker?" Steve's correct. Where is it? Why aren't you people wearing it if you're so proudly a MGTOW? Why aren't you advertising it if you're so proudly a MGTOW? Why aren't you afraid to talk about it in public? Why aren't you? You should be willing to talk about it in public, shouldn't you? How could we ever change things if we're scared of the public? And you know what it really is? Is you're scared of what other people are going to think of you. That's all it really is. It's called time to grow some gonads. It's time to get some thicker, tough skin. It's time to not care what other people think about you. Stay honest. Call it for what it is. It's not a game. Another human being's emotions is not a game. But with that being said, guys, I think I've been up here long enough. I'm going to get on out of here, and I appreciate it. And Dave, drop me an email. I'll drop you one back. Okay. And we'll see what we can do to set up a time for a live stream that I can bring you on. I would definitely love that. Oh, I'll bet you there's a whole lot more MGTOW who know who I am than you're thinking. Just because they're not saying my name don't mean they don't even know who I am. I'll guarantee you that. Okay? I'll guarantee you that. But with that being said, guys, I'm out of here. You have a good one.